In this video, we will understand what is continuous integration and how to achieve this. So as we know, whenever we keep our source code into online services like Azure DevOps or any version control systems like SVN, we expect that multiple team members will be cloning our repository and they will be pushing their changes to either the master branch or to their individual branches, right? So whenever the code comes to the online service, we want to build their code and test their code, right? So for that, what we do is we write this pipeline which will be associated to that repository, and in this pipeline we write the steps to build and test the code which is present in that repository. Okay, so if we combine these two, what we want to achieve is like whenever a change happens, that should be built and tested. So whenever, right, so for every continuous change we want to continuously integrate that change into our pipeline, and we want to build and test that is the continuous integration. But how do we achieve, like how do we make sure that uh, a change on any of the branches is triggering this pipeline? Okay, so that is achieved using triggers. Okay, in here this trigger is mentioned on master branch. That means whenever we change anything in master branch, this pipeline will be triggered. We can check that. So for example, if I go and change anything here, right, now if I go to the pipelines, now you see that change is integrated, and my uh, change will be built and tested again. So that is how the continuous integration works, and that is achieved using triggers. And if you see the documentation here, uh, we can include on like which set of branches we want to control this continuous integration, and we can also exclude some of the branches, and uh, here this star means it's going to include everything. Okay, it is just to include only the main branch, and when we say batch true, that means let's say if multiple developers are pushing changes uh, continuously, let's say in a vast amount of changes are coming, then if we do not want to trigger like new pipeline, one new instance of pipeline for each and every change, then we can choose the batch approach. What happens is, if one pipeline is already running, then at the same time if we are getting multiple changes to our remote repository, then this with this option what happens is it will club all those changes and run only one pipeline. Okay, and here the trigger can be associated to particular directory in that repository. For example, in main and release we want to include changes happening in docs and exclude particular this file. Okay, and we can do it for the tags also, right? And again, if we want to let's say disable that continuous integration, we can do that as well. For example, in here if I don't want to go the automated fashion, then I can say like trigger none. That means this pipeline will not be triggered. We need to trigger it manually, right? So now we understood what is continuous integration and how to achieve that using triggers, right? Thank you for your time. See you in next video.